Bali and Naren live in Zhao Sutalage, a village of 47 households. They farm a dry riverbed and herd 200 sheep and goats, but they're 20 kilometres away at their summer pasture with Bali's mother and grandmother.
Grandma lives here because she wants to live here. All his life is spent with sheep, goat, and camels, and with the nature. So she likes this kind of living.
别墅后边我妈宫颈不远嘛，别墅宫颈边买有商店。
OK， 那商店离这有多远
They say in the past they just go over there. There is a place, the 3 kilometers.
It is forbidden land.
But now they are not allowed to get water, so they have to move away 5 kilometers away from here, that's the direction, and get water for themselves and for the animals. And now, the animal only can drink water every 2 days, not like before. Before every day they have water to drink.
The family's hardships are growing. They don't put their faith in the government to make life better, but in a higher authority.
Every March, they always invite Lama, that's Tibetan monks, to come here to read scriptures for them and pray for harvest as well as good luck for all the years.
Overplowing, overgrazing, overpopulation, and too much water exploitation caused the steppe to all but disappear, and land became desert.
According to the Chinese government, by 2000, the country was losing land the size of the Indonesian island of Bali every year to the desert. So China decided to do what only a central command economy can do: mobilize people and resources on a mass scale to halt the advance of the desert.
Our government have launched several key national programs for ecological improvement in China. Through 10 years efforts, more than 10 years efforts, some programs have already got achievements. The vegetation in west part of China have been improved. It is, of course, the vegetation is still fragile and not stable, but the overall situation is better than before.
China aims to reclaim 250,000 square kilometres of desert by 2020. But how? In Alishan, we see some of the techniques that will be used to regreen the land. This is the project Jennifer Wang is helping to manage: tree seeding from the air. It's called the 3 North Shelter Belts program, and it's part of the government-sponsored plan to first contain and then push back the desert. The target is to sow 1.2 million hectares. The vision is to restore the Saxol tree barrier around the Gobi.
This is my project. This site announces air sowing in Alishan. It is a Sino-Italian cooperative aid program. It's part of 3 North Shelter Belt program to sow 1.4 thousand hectares.
The seeds of Saxol trees are treated against insects, rodents, and wind erosion. Sowing can only be done in the 20 days before the rainy season.
I come to see how my seedlings are doing. It's a delicate time and depends on the rainfall. As long as they don't get buried, they'll grow. Even then, if they get buried, they might come up next year or year after. But the process is really expensive.
The traditional labour-intensive technique is to hand-sow tree belts to provide the fields with a protective barrier against the shifting sand. The 3-year programme calls for 6 million hectares to be replanted.
This land is a nursery field, and this is the local forest bureaus. And they set this nursery just for setting baby plants for others. And this forest is just in order to protect the nursery field. It's not really a very good place to grow trees. They need a lot of water.
Some measures demand mobilising legions of workers, like the 1.3 million hectares of checkerbox straw matting that are meant to slow drifting dunes.
This is a straw check box used for stabilizing shifting dune and protect the railway. The problem is that this technique doesn't last long.
China is just about the only country that can organize its people on a massive scale to confront desertification. Its desertification combat plan is correspondingly ambitious. Various government agencies see differing results, but those charged with pushing back the desert might feel a need to exaggerate success.
When we come to the central government asking one agency, okay, can you produce something from your point of view? How is the situation all over China? Sometimes giving you in kind of contradiction even. This might be giving you a misleading information, might affect the decision making.
Whatever the government's claims, in Alishan, the sand still drifts, and shepherds still herd their oversized flocks, and the remaining trees still felled for fuel wood. In Alishan, the authorities are forced to cordon off the saxol plantations.
And the side just tell us here is the saxon tree protection area. Anyone here cannot sell saxon trees for fuel wood. If someone are fined to chop saxon trees here, they will be fined and transferred to the legal department.
But this is depriving the people of their only source of fuel for their open stoves. The authorities recognize that if the steppe is to recover, the people must be provided with alternatives to fuel wood and to overstocking.
这个转移发展战略啊，它整个应该说是我们
Guideline of the strategy is the combine ecological treatment with economic development. If in that area grassland is deteriorating, they have to help the farmers to move out from that area, how to make a living. The government provide aid to these farmers.